Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to scatterlovetarot with your girl coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to go into what do men secretly think of you and why. It's just going to be a quick reading today, but I did want to get this out. It was a channel message, so we'll see what comes through. First things first, for those of you that are returning viewers, subscribers, supporters in any one way, shape, or form, thank you so much for coming back and for being on this journey with me. I'm just truly honored to be sharing this time and this space with you. It's such a blessing along this journey. And for those of you that are new, this is a reminder that we are all here having this human experience and that this is a safe space to come as you are in your highest, most authentic self. So for those of you that are supporting the channel, if you'd like to support it further, you can always check out the description box below where you will find the links necessary to do so. You can also email me for personal reading and I'll get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. Also, for those of you interested in the membership, it was put on hold while I was sick. I'm feeling better, still recovering, but I'm in the process of getting everything up and going again. And I don't have a date or anything in mind. However, you will be the first to know as soon as it goes live. So I just recommend that you keep an eye out on my community tab. That's where I will post any updates with the channel, as well as thank yous and positive, just positive motivation from there. Awesome. So that being said, let us go ahead and hop on over to our prayer, and then we will go ahead and get into this reading. Okay, my beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this reading today. I ask for inner understanding. Oftentimes we get stuck in this cycle of wanting to know how everybody sees us and views us, and we get stuck thinking that we're not enough, thinking that we have to change who we are just so that we can be accepted by society. And it's actually in this process of changing ourselves that we lose our connection not only to us, but to you. So I ask for this inner understanding today that reminds us that we're so beautiful and enough and worthy of being who we are. No strings attached. That we are who we are for purpose. That you created us as we are with our unique perspectives and our unique experiences so that we had something beautiful to bring to the world that deserves to be seen exactly as it is through our experience and through our ability to share. That we do not need approval from anyone outside of ourselves, and that if we find ourselves seeking that or desiring that, that you help remind us and bring us back to our inner truth, that we are enough, that we are seen, that we are valued, and that we are approved of, and that we too can feel these things about ourselves deeply and unconditionally. As these words are spoken unto this space and into this reading, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Asay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let me go ahead and get that set up over here. Alrighty then. And today we are going to be choosing from the Pocket Mystical Shaman Oracle deck that I have here. If you're wondering who it's by, here is the book. I think it's Marcela Lobos, Colette Baron Reed, and Alberto Villaloldo. Villaloldo? Violo. I don't know. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done trying. All right. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into it. I did shuffle these. So source for pile number 1. What oracle card will help us better understand what men secretly think of pile number 1 and why? Okay, thank you. Okay, and source for pile number 2. What oracle card will help us better understand what men secretly think of pile number 2 and why? We're not doing 2. They want the bottom one. I heard it. I was like, no, I don't want 2. I want 1. Okay. And for pile number 3, source, what oracle card will help us better understand what men think of pile number 3 and why? And it's so crazy. I just looked at the smoke from the incense and it's burning straight up in a perfect line. I love when that happens. That means you're very connected to source. The messages are coming through clearly. Smoke predictions or smoke divination is a very, very cool and unique thing to experience. We have the medicine wheel on the bottom with the 4 cardinal directions here. I love this. So directly connecting with the shaman through this reading. I'll get that over there. Let me get these set up. Okay. And for pile number 1, we have this beautiful piece of soda light for you to choose from. Okay. For pile number 2, we have this beautiful piece of turquoise. And for pile number 3, we have this piece of agate. Okay. So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever one you are drawn to, that should be the pile for you. With that being said, I will see you over on your perspective pile. Hello, my fellow humans. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of soda light, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do men secretly think of you and why. We'll leave that over there. We'll check that out at the end. So first things first, these are general readings. So with that in mind, take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary in the description box below, where you can email me for personal reading. I'll get you out further information. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. And as for memberships, just keep an eye out. They are in the process right now. I'm just trying to get caught back up from being sick. It's taking me a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's all right. It's just the process. Excuse me. So when those do go live, I will let you know. You'll be the first to know. And I just recommend keeping an eye out on the community tab, which is where I will post any updates with the channel, as well as inspirational quotes and thank yous for everything that's going on the channel. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading and find out, what do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? What messages can you tell us? What do men secretly think of pile number 1? What would you like to say here? What do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? Okay, so we've got Pisces, the 9th house, and we have Venus energy. That you're a very attractive person and very spiritual. Incredibly spiritual, actually. They don't want to test your intuition. That's what I'm hearing right now. And no matter whether you're a man, a woman, or whatever you identify with, it does not matter. They're just saying that you're very attractive. You're an attractive human. You are very dreamy. You could have Pisces and Venus, which makes you kind of look cartoony. You have a huge magnetism towards your energy. So men are secretly thinking that you're very magnetic, you're very alluring, you're very sexy, like very sexual, seductive, and that you're also someone that like if they were to get too close to, you could present a little bit of danger because you would know their every move before they made it. Right? And even if this is like, if you're a man on here, it's like the same thing. Like they just know that if they got together with you and connected with you and tried to build a friendship with you, they could never pull one over on you. They could never pull the wool over your eyes because you would know exactly what's going on before they even acted upon it. And so they secretly think that you're someone who travels a lot, that you are always learning new things, that you are maybe researching or in a higher educational journey. Like you could be going to get your PhD, you could be getting your master's degree, your bachelor's degree, whatever it is. You could even just be starting out college and getting your associate's degree right now. But there's just this higher educational feeling that's coming through here. So there's this air of super intelligence that's being brought forth here. And that you are someone who goes towards their dreams and you let your wisdom guide you. They secretly think that you're someone who's maybe into the arts, or you're very much like trying to bring cultures together, trying to find an ethical stance so that we don't feel so separated from one another. That you are someone who is very spiritual, intuitive, psychic even. You have some very deeply rooted gifts that are just a part of who you are. You have a gift of discernment. You are also very aware of people and their motives. That you are kind of, in some places, you're a fantasy for men, and they secretly think that. Most men, though, think that you're very much an old soul, you're very introspective, and that you are someone who will go out of their way to learn more about themselves whenever possible. And that's something that's also very attractive to you. That you're very sociable, that you have a ton of options, that you like luxury and comfort, and that you're willing to compromise within reason, but it has to be balanced, and that you have some sort of feminine grace about you. Even if you're a man on here, like you're very in touch with your femininity, and that's also something that is very intimidating for a lot of men. Even if you're not, like women and men both, like whatever you identify with, it doesn't matter. Or even, you know, a non-binary, if you're very in touch with your feminine side, that's something that tends to be very intimidating for many men, especially if they're very masculine and very much in this place of like, oh no, you can't cry, you can't feel anything. Basically, you have to be a working robot and that's it. And when you come in and you're this very giving, loving individual, it makes them out of touch with the reality that they've built for so long. All right, so let's get some cards on it and see if we can kind of get a deeper understanding of what men secretly think of pile number 1, source. What do men secretly think of pile number 1? Thank you. What do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? All right, where are you at? There you go. What do men secretly think of pile number 1? The cards are acting all funky. Alright, what do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, here we go. What do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? Okay, thank you. What do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? Thank you. What do men secretly think of pile number 1, source? Whoa. Yeah, you're going to call them out on all the things that they've got going on. Yeah, exactly what I was saying like earlier, the feeling of being completely in touch with your feminine nature, the feminine side of yourself. Remember, this is energy that resides within all of us as masculine and feminine, and oftentimes we're very much in this toxic masculine, and to be balancing out both your masculine and to get in touch with your inner feminine side is very, very powerful. You know, we're coming into the age of feminism right now. And so, yeah, and they see, ooh, look at this. There's so many people here. Okay. Yeah, they see themselves as somebody who's very problematic with authoritative figures, and you already have an air of authority about you. And so they're secretly thinking that yes, you're so nurturing, but that because you're so intuitive and you could be clairvoyant, clairsentience. That's the one, clairsentience. You could be clairsentience, and that you would feel them and their true nature before they ever even were able to get close to you. So they could never bring you down. Like, they could never intimidate you. They could never control you. They could never, like, put you in a box, because you are brighter than they ever will be. And that scares them, because before they've been able to affect other people just by using their emotions as manipulation, but they can't emotionally manipulate you. It just doesn't work that way, because you're not someone who gives freely like that. Like, you live with your heart on your sleeve. Like, there's a difference between living with your heart on your sleeve and letting people bulldoze you because you're so kind or nice. I'm going to use nice here, because kind is a different place, right? Like, that's a different play altogether. Being kind means you still have boundaries, but being nice, and it's like sometimes people take your kindness as you being nice, and they think that that's something that they can use to their advantage. And so the thing is that men secretly think that you're a kind person, but that you are completely aware of their every move. Like, if they have their own internal habits that are just really terrible, or really, really, like, it's like, I know it's bad. It's like when people say they want to stop smoking. Like, I know it's terrible for you. I know it's awful, but I just, I'm going to stop one day. Like, that's the energy that they have. So it's like, maybe they drink, maybe they smoke, maybe they gamble, maybe they have all these things going on. When Judgment comes out in reverse, we are talking about addictions. There's quite a few cards in the deck that talk about addictions when they come out in the reverse, which is interesting, right? It is interesting, because it's something that actually takes over a lot more people than you'd think. But it's like something that they have an addiction with, that they know that it's bad. They know that it's not right, but they feel like if they were to get together with you, or they feel like if they got around you, that you would just call them out on it. Or you would hit them with some really deep truth that would make them not have an excuse to come back. Like, I really can't excuse my actions, but at least if I'm in denial, there's an excuse, right? Yeah, they feel like you've been around the block. Okay, and it does not surprise me that the Page of Wands here. So a lot of them are very sexually attracted to you, and for those of you that are not interested in men, that is okay. They're just in this place of where they're wishing they could be like you, because they feel like you have so many options. Okay, but many men, for my divine femmes out there, they're very attracted to you. They're very, very, like, your delicacy that they'll never get to endure or to experience. And for the men out there that are not interested in men, they're in this energy of seeing you as someone to strive to be, because they feel like everybody has a thing for you. Like, you could get any woman that you want. You could get any person that you want. Like, everybody's going to be like fawning for you, and they want to be that, because they think that's what status is. That's what having the ultimate status is. And so they feel like, for many of you, they feel like you've been around the block, and that you've had a lot of opportunities to get, laid by people that only anybody could dream of, because you can have any person that you want. And I feel like for you personally, I feel like that's like the last thing on your mind. Like, sure, it's fun, it's this, it's whatever, but I don't feel like that's like at the forefront of your mind. It's not sex, but because this is the energy that they're coming from, that's all they think about. They think that everybody thinks the same way they do. And that's hard, so even when you get on this spiritual journey, like, all of a sudden you get this switch flipped, and you're like, oh, everybody's going to think the same way that I do, and you've come to a hard reality that that's not true at all. But that's because that's societal belief, that if I think this way, then everybody thinks this way, and so that's where they're coming from. But they secretly think that you're desired by all, and that's something that you kind of like are proud of, like, you're very proud of that. Like, I deserve to be desired by all because of the position that I'm in, because I chose to heal, or because I chose to be a better version of myself. And I feel like that's the last thing from your mind. You're just magnetic because of all the work that you've put in. You're magnetic because you've overcome so much. Well, please have some clarifiers here. Why are men thinking this? Whoa. Okay, they want these two. Why are men thinking this about pile number 1, source? Why? Whoa, okay. Because you are somebody that does things that no one else does. You do things differently. Right? With the Fool here, it's like you've taken risks, and it's like without great risk, without great risk. Whatever risk is, that's what you're doing. It's a risk, okay? Without great risk, there is no great reward, right? And it's like you are brave enough to try the things that only people talk about in movies, or only they see on television, or only they see on YouTube or on TikTok or on Facebook or whatever. It's like your reality of a situation that they only see people they've never met doing, and so that they've met you and they know you, or they can connect with you. It's something that like baffles them, because they're like, oh, nobody that I've known has ever been like this. Yeah, so we have the Ace of Cups here. Why do they think this? Yeah, they're crying over spilt milk because they know that they'll never have a chance to connect with you because you're too much. Like, it's self-infatuation here. That's how they're seeing it. They're seeing your self-love as self-infatuation. I'm infatuated with myself. I love myself. I don't, there's this song, and I can't remember who it is. It's like, no matter how hard I try to, what is it? I need to effing love myself, okay? Like, I need to just love myself. But it's like she talks about in the song, like, doesn't matter how hard I try, no matter what I say or what I do, you're always going to judge. It's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. And it's like, that's what they're saying. It's like you are trying so hard, but you don't try hard at all. And so you've gone through all these changes, and they know that they're never, ever going to have an opportunity with you. So a lot of these men could be men from your past, right? And they just think that you're very self-absorbed. With the Ace of Cups here, it's interesting. That's why they feel this way. They feel like, oh, you're very, like how they would be if they were in their position, in your position. That's what they think of you. Like, why they think this. Yeah, you've had a lot of success, even though you've had a lot of heartache or heartbreak or struggles in your life. And that's not fair. They feel like they deserve it too. But, everybody has hardships and everybody goes through difficulties in life. And if you if you choose to stay in that position of like, oh, why me, poor me, or nothing happens for me, nothing good ever comes in my life, blah blah blah, whatever, we stay playing the victim, we never get to experience life from the place of learning and experiencing those lessons. And you chose to experience those lessons. So, and that's the other thing here that I'm seeing, what they're pointing out. It's like you have this overpour, like you're giving to people, but you're not giving to these men, these particular men that are thinking this about you. Like you give so much to everybody else, but you don't give to them. Well, it's because you know their intentions, and they know that, and they're aware of that. They've talked about that this whole reading. We have the sun coming out here. We had the sun come out earlier too, right here. Yeah. You're just bright. You're just the sunshine. The room lights up when you come in. It's something they're aware of, but they're also in this place of like, feeling like if they were to connect with you, they'd have to start at the beginning and get to know you again, and it's too much effort. And that's why they're secretly thinking these things. Oh, they're just too proud, or they just think they're too good for things. Like, if you look at all the green, this is a lot of green, and not all these cards are green. I mean, look at these just underneath here, right? Not all these cards are green, but these all came out with green, and it's like you're coming from your heart. And wasn't that what I said earlier when we saw the Queen of Cups? I was like, you live with your heart on your sleeve. Like, you naturally live that way. But whoever these men are that are thinking this, they definitely are not getting your love. And the reason they're not is because they're coming from this place of small-mindedness. And you just don't vibe with that. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't demean yourself to vibe with somebody who's just trying to use you to gain status or to gain, clout or whatever it is, or to gain something from you, because you already know what's going on. Like, you're aware of the situation. So it does feel like these are men that you know. Look, we have green again. Green man. We cannot make this up. This is such a trip. Okay, yeah, you're in this very balanced, harmonious thing. And this is what men are secretly thinking of you. You're so balanced and loving and kind and stuff. And it's like, and stuff. And whatever stuff is, right? But because of that, and because you know it, that you're coming from a very egotistical place, which really is kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense, right? Like it's counterproductive, because you can't be an egotistical, you know what, and come from a place of love. Like those two just they don't work hand in hand. And that's part of what this journey teaches you, but they see you. And a lot of these men feel like if they don't have you in their life, that they're missing out on something because of the love that you bring, that you naturally exude. But you're constantly changing. And because you're constantly changing, it's causing them to come into these rifts where they know that eventually they're not going to have access to you the way that they do now. But I feel like a lot of these men don't even have access to you anyways. Like, at all. You're just a distant prayer. You're slowly becoming that person that they said, oh, you're only the one that we see on TV. Look, we have 44 on the bottom here with Truth and Jekyll. Yeah. You're only the one that we see on TV. You're only the one that we see on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Insta, whatever. You know, like we don't actually know you. We don't get to know you like that. Well, they never had that opportunity, because when you started vibing up, they started vibing out. But they're secretly thinking that, oh, they have a new position, they have a new status, or they have people who are around them, people who are supporting them. And because people see them now, like, they think they're so much better. But they're also way more loving. Look, Pisces. This could be Pisces men in your life, or you could be a Pisces. Like, it's weird because they have these contradictions that are coming through. It's like, I feel confused, okay? Like, it's not that this information that's coming out is confusing. It's not. But I feel confused right now connecting with them, because they're confused. Like, they're in this place of like, oh, look at how loving Pile 1 is. Look at how kind they are. Look at this. Oh, there they go, being their big selves, thinking they're better than everyone. How about, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they can't decide how to think about you. They can't decide what category you fall into, because when they see you and they're not thinking or considering that it's how they feel about themselves, then they see you and they see the love that you share. But then when they get their ego involved, then they're coming from a place that they see themselves as their ego. So they definitely do see you as someone who's intimate, very intuitive, and very compassionate, right? But there's also that underlying feeling here, like, oh, they think they're better than everyone, right? Yeah, so we have curiosity and intellect, networking, and Gemini energy is also connected with gossiping. So they could be secretly gossiping about you because they're being triggered by you. Like, you have no idea that you're triggering them this way. But it's because of your perspective and that you continue to sing your own song. You're just happy being you. Go you, Pile 1. Heck yes, go you. Like, that's awesome. You should be you. But, you know, sometimes people just can't. Like, they just can't. Like, here you are manifesting your dreams, right? Spirit, with Spider Spirit, make your dreams real. 56. Like, you're manifesting your dreams. And that's why it's like, I feel like they're hating on you. And they secretly think that you think you're better than everyone else because you're actually doing what you said you would do. And they know that if they actually took the time to do what they wanted to do, if they ever got successful at it, they would use it to rub in everybody else's face. And here you are. You deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. And they see you as someone who's going towards what you want. They see it. But at the same time, they're thinking, oh, when they get it, like, they're going to be, like, such a jerk. They're going to be that person that's like, I'm so much better than you. Like, I got deep pockets. I'm going to roll around in nice things. And you already like nice things, right? Like, you already like nice things. But they feel like you're going to use that as an excuse to not be loving anymore. And, you know, money only accentuates the person who we are. the good and the bad, right? So we have responsibility, meerkat, number 16. Yeah, you are bringing something into reality. It's been a long time in the making. So a lot of these men have watched you go from nothing to having something, and that's what it is. And it's like you haven't changed all that much except for becoming more loving and kind and gracious. And it's like I said, it's like they're in this energy of not knowing, how do I view pile 1? Do I view them as a good person? Do I view them as a bad person? Because honestly, if I were, it's like always coming back to this comparison. If I were in their position, this is how I would be. We have Rochelle. As you honor and follow your the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So they look, and again, green. Look, and you even got the green. Like, I can't make this up. They see you as a loving person. Like, you got the green on the bottom. Look, this one's blue, purple, 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 blue, purple. Look, green doesn't come for a while. And there's not that many green cards in this deck. I mean, so for you to get 2 of the green cards out here, she's wearing green, right? It's not a green card, but she's wearing green, and then that's a green card. It's like interesting, isn't it? It's like they see you as a loving person. They think you're a loving, kind, generous person, but they're also in this place of wondering, like, why doesn't pile number 1 give that love to me? And it's like, honestly, I feel like the reason you don't is because these people have taken too much of your precious time and wasted it. Okay, so let's see what your card is. I'm going to go ahead and read this from the book. The Beloved. Yeah, you're definitely loved. Okay, like, that's the thing. Like, you're definitely loved. Like, they admire you. They appreciate you. They love that you love them. They love that you share love. But there's also that conflicting energy that's coming in here where it's like, oh, there goes pile 1 being a jerk because they got this, they got that, you know? So let's see. Beloved says, the beloved is the recognition of the spirit in another and moving towards spirit through the other. It is when the divine appears to us in the form of our child, our parent, our friend, and we experience being in love. As we grow, we start to recognize the beloved in everyone, not confusing their personality with their divine nature. I love that this actually says confusing in it because I feel like that's exactly what they're doing here. They're confusing personality with your divine nature. Is as you come closer to your divine nature, you're letting go of personality. That's what ends up happening. We don't get rid of our personality because we would cease to exist. We would go back home to being spirits, but you're in this place of really letting that go. And so isn't it interesting here? It's like we have the root chakra element coming through here with this card, but also still the heart chakra, the beloved, being loved, right? And so it's like they see you as this loving, kind, generous person, but there's also a sense of anger here that I'm getting with this card because they're not able to manifest you into their life the way that they want to. And that's what they secretly think. And that's why they think that way, is because they know that they can't get to you like that. Okay. So this is what I see for you. If you feel like this resonated for you, leave a green geometrical shape below. Leave a green circle, a square, the hexagon, whatever it is that pops up. If you type in green on your keyboard, all of them should show up for you there. So leave a green emoji down below and say, I allow my heart to shine forth, because that's exactly what you're doing, and you want to continue to do that. You're absolutely beautiful on your journey. Don't let what people are thinking about you deter you from continuing on with this beautiful place that you've come to. Okay, pile 1. So this is what I'm seeing for you. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful piece of turquoise, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do men secretly think of you, and why. Okay? First things first, they are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links necessary to do so below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you there. And as for memberships, just keep an eye out. They're put on hold right now just because I'm recovering from being sick, but I'm in the process of getting everything restarted with that. And as soon as they go live, I will mention it in the community tab. I just tell you, I recommend that you keep an eye out for the community tab, because that's where you will find any updates with the channel, as well as thank yous and positive messages. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it and find out, what do men secretly think of you? Source for pile number 2. What do men secretly think of pile number 2? Would you like them to know? What do men secretly think of pile number 2? What messages do you have here? Okay, so we've got the 6th house, Uranus, and Leo energy. You have changed your body a lot. So maybe you started working out, or you started taking better care of yourself, like paying attention to what you put into your body, or whatever it is. It's like has to do with you physically. They secretly think that you're like become some bodybuilder. They're secretly thinking that you're someone that is very attractive, that they'd like to date, or they could see themselves becoming, and that you've changed a lot. You've done a lot to do this. You may be like, I haven't really done anything. Like, what the heck? And it's just that it's because you're taking care of your mind and your soul that you're actually changing, right? We can become shapeshifters when we take care of our soul. It's pretty cool, actually. The whole thing is actually a really neat process. So they're showing here that you're taking care of yourself, your routines. It's like they're thinking that you're someone who's very dedicated to your routines, and that will never change. Even though you may ebb and flow a lot with your routines, you've changed the way that you take care of your appearance overall. So you may change the way that you dress. You may change the way that you maybe you do your hair different now, or you cut your hair, or you dyed your hair recently. And so they definitely think that you're very focused on your looks right now. They do secretly think that you're very playful, that you can be a leader, but sometimes that you are the center of attention, and that you're kind of prideful and maybe egotistical and vain. And remember, what we're connecting with here is in no way, shape, or form the truth of who you are. So taking it with a grain of salt, right? But that you're overall happy. And it's interesting that happy would come through, because I did get that channeled message, and I totally didn't even say it when I first started. But when I was getting ready for yours, like, happy kept coming through. You're a happy person. You're a really happy person. You're overall super happy. But that you can sometimes also be vain and egotistical. Like, it's an interesting energy. But that you're very, very happy. Super happy. Exorbitantly happy. You're a very, very happy person. And this is something that's changed. Maybe before you weren't so happy, or maybe you were kind of like depressed and sad and just introverted and not outgoing at all. And it seems like you become more outgoing. That's why they're thinking you're egotistical and you're vain. Okay, like that's why. Is that energy right there. It's like, because you're doing things like maybe you didn't do before, or they're seeing a different side of you that they didn't see before, and they think that there's an ulterior motive to it other than you just being yourself, right? That you are suddenly you're progressing, and that you can sometimes be unpredictable. Cool. That's an energy that we should all own. Unpredictability. Don't let them know your next move, y'all. Don't. Go with it, pile 2. Own it. Be with it. All right. Let's get some tarot on it, find out some more energies here, and see what comes through. So, source, how do men secretly think... I should say, what do men secretly think of pile number 2? What do men secretly think of pile number 2? Yeah, that if they had an opportunity that you'd be a choice in their life, like a friend or a love relationship or connection that they would like to have in their life, that you're somebody who's very stable. Even though you're unpredictable and you can be egotistical and vain, that you're super all over, you're stable. Okay. It's interesting. Just interesting energies today. These are always interesting to me. I just, never know where they're going to go. What do men secretly think of pile number 2, source? What do men secretly think of pile number 2? Okay, I thought it was there. I could feel it. I just didn't know which one it was. Okay, what do men secretly think of pile number 2? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's all based in, like, you're happy, but it's almost like the bigger the smile, the bigger the problems. That's the energy coming through. Is that you're trying to hide your fear. You're trying to hide your anxiety. And hardships from the past, from past relationships. Yeah, and that you want to be liked by everybody. But Source is showing here that that's not the case at all. Source is showing that, no, you're just very balanced in your emotions, but they don't see that because they're seeing you based on what you were in your past. Right? So they're secretly thinking that you're someone who just wants to be liked by everyone. That's that vain energy coming through, that egotistical energy that they're thinking about. That you're a leader, you're happy, yeah, but that you're stuck, and that's not something that you're yet willing to look into, is why you're stuck. Maybe you don't have a lot of friends right now, or maybe you don't have a lot of people surrounding you, and they think that that's why. It's because you're actually not who you say you are when you're behind closed doors. Like, you're different out in public when you're out helping and leading people. They do see you as the leader here. Right? Especially the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups in the Tarot Marseille talks about someone who's an emotional leader, someone who's capable of being so emotionally set, right? You're this large cup up here. Again, the King of Cups energy, right? That large cup, and it's so full that you're teaching others how to fill up their own cup too. And that's kind of what this card really talks about, is having an overabundance of that and leading others to finding their own abundance here. And then you have the Sun, and the Sun is usually bringing a light, right? Bringing a light on, shedding a light on the whole reading, shedding a light on the whole situation. But because it's in the reverse, we're talking about being stuck. And so they're saying here, and they're secretly thinking that you're stuck because you're always trying to find a way to keep improving and impressing new people. Like, that's what you're shining a light on, is the fact that you always need to come up with new ways to impress people. And so these men are secretly thinking that, like, while you're a happy person, that there's also this deep fear that's guiding you on how to give to others. And that fear comes from having a broken heart in the past and wanting to always be liked, wanting to be the center of attention, needing to be the center of attention. Okay? And remember, because we're connecting with someone else, this does not mean that this is the truth of who you are. Okay? This is not the truth of your character. This is just what they're secretly thinking. But let's get some clarifiers out on it and see what else comes through here. Actually, I want to ask why with the clarifier. So, Source, why do men think this way about pile number 2? Why? Can you tell us why? We have 8, 9, and 10 in reverse order. The 19 card in numerology would be 10, and we have 10, 10. So they are showing you on your path to purpose, but see how they're seeing it from a reversed way, right? 10, 9, 8. They're seeing you from their own projections, yes, but it's just their own perspective. They don't think that anybody can be as happy as you are without having some deep internal problems, like mental problems, or having some kind of physical problem, or having some kind of upset. And they have this thing coming in about work, like you're always trying to impress people in your work. And you're always trying to tell them what they want to hear. That's why they're thinking this way. Because you know what to say and when to say it. And that's the thing. And so they think, oh, well, they're so good at social cues that's why they're always popular. That's why they always have people around them, because they always know what to say and when to say it. But it's not, like, they don't think it's genuine. But see, yeah, you are a very genuine person. So this is depicting the Pope, right? You have the Pope, you have the 2 of Clubs. Let's see what else we have here. And the Hermit. Again, like the Hermit on the 10 of Cups. So it's interesting because that's exactly what they think. They think that no one can be this happy without being, secretly behind closed doors someone else. This could be a Virgo. We have 6th house energy coming in. You could be a Virgo. You could have Virgo highly aspect in your chart. I am hearing Virgo North Node right now. And then we have the Chariot on the bottom with the 7 of Spades. And the Strength card with the Ace of Wands and the 3 of Spades here. Yeah, they think that there's no possible way that someone could be as strong as you are or have as many opportunities of success as you do without something being off. That's what they're secretly thinking right now. Like, it's just kind of trippy. Because we're not doing attraction today. This is all about what they're thinking of you. Like, what's going on? So these are not necessarily men that are sexually attracted to you. These are not necessarily men who want to get with you. Although it could be, because we do have the Leo energy, could be that they do want to date you. But I feel like they want to date you with their own agenda to find out what it is that's going on behind closed doors. Like finding the key to your wisdom. Finding the key to why it is that you're capable of drawing a crowd, why it is that you're capable of setting this tone and connecting with so many people in that way. So they just don't believe that someone could be as lucky as you are. And again, you might think that you're not lucky, but that's not how it's looking from the outside. Like, you have a lot of opportunities that they don't have. You have a lot of situations that come up that provide a lot of things that they wish they had. And they just don't understand, like, how does pile 2 gain access to all this? They must be just playing a show. They must just be playing the part. They must be really behind closed doors, someone that's really scared and really afraid and really anxious all the time. And you may have fought anxiety in your life. You may have fought depression in your life. And that's something that is why you're happy. Like, why you found happiness is because you found balance within your soul and realize you don't have to live in that energy all the time. It's not who you are. Yeah, see, you're very connected with Source here with ceremony and invocation. And it's like, whoever these men are, they're just not able to connect with Source in the way that you are. And you have this beautiful connection. And it's like, again, it's almost like feeling like you're a fraud. Like, they think that you're bamboozling people because you just know what to say and how to say it. Not that you're getting channels from Source, because oftentimes I feel like some of the things that you may say, I don't know, like when I'm channeling from Source, some of the stuff that comes from, like, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not something that my mind would actually make up, Like, I'm not that clever. I don't think anybody is. I don't think when you're that directly connected with Source, like, things come through and you're like, huh? And Source is like, just say it or just do it. And you're like, okay. And then it happens to, like, play out, like, in this way. And you're like, wow, that was really creative. Like, or when synchronicities start coming to you, it's almost like you may have shown a lot of these men some synchronicities in your life or talk about them. And they're like, oh, they're looking for them. They only talk to me about them when they happen. But it's starting to happen so much that it's almost like they don't even believe their own way of thinking about you. You know what I mean? Like, they're in this place of questioning, like, I mean, maybe, what if they're really like that, But they do see you as following a certain routine, and they feel like your routine is what is building that up, but behind your routine that you're actually just this scared little person who's not capable of actually doing what you need to. It's all a facade. That's what they're thinking here. Yeah. Not seeing your beauty. That's the thing. They can't see your beauty right now. Usually this talks about ourselves, right? But I feel like you're in a place where you finally trust yourself, you believe in yourself, you understand who you are, and they're so blinded by your energy and by your light that they can't see who you really are. And so they don't trust that you're actually this gorgeous person, this gorgeous soul that's come here to earth. They can't trust that because they've never been able to before. So why would it be any different now? Right? So many people are in this place of, like, living in the past. And I feel like that's what this group of men is they're just living in the past. And they're living from this place of, like, no one can be like that without having an ulterior motive. Wow, that is way too many, Source. I'm not even gonna look because that's just too many. One card, please. Okay, so they want conjunction. Flipped over here, union, emerging and coming together. Yeah, so you may be actually calling in your higher spiritual connection here. So your partner, your twin flame, your soulmate, whatever it is that you want to label it as, it doesn't matter. It's just like you could be calling that in, and they could be seeing that, and they could be feeling like, oh, that's not fair because I didn't get a chance, or that's not fair because I don't have that opportunity. Immutable, we have Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So Virgo energy is like very, very strong here. You know, you've got the Hermit twice. We've got Virgo in the dice. It's just like Virgo energy is like running rampant across this reading. We've got Virgo here. We have surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. That's the thing. It's like they see you always surrendering. They see you always changing. They see all this stuff coming to you, and they just don't understand, like, how did you get so lucky? Yin energy, right? Intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. We have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. You're in this place of receiving your abundance, and they don't know what that means. Like, they're not in a place where they can understand the true depth of what it is to receive source love and abundance from source. And that's what's going on here. We have give with gratitude and grace. And I feel like this is what they see all the time, you out there. But then in the back of their mind, they're like, oh, they're only like that because they're scared that people aren't going to like them. So they're just giving with gratitude. Like, they heard somewhere that gratitude is going to give them abundance. And so now they're giving with gratitude. But in truth, gratitude really is the highest vibration of love. I had a dream the other day. This is so weird. I don't even know why I'm talking about this now, but they want me to talk about it. I had a dream the other day where a little girl was telling me, in this dream, she's like, honestly, I feel like I was fighting off a spiritual attachment. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real about it. I feel like it was a spiritual attachment. So I don't feel like it was actually really a little girl. I think it was kind of an evil entity. And I don't talk about this to scare people. I don't, because we have to realize how strong we are and how powerful we are, and that we choose whether or not we let them in, and we can give into that negativity, or we can choose to let source inundate us with the positive love and highest vibrational energy and help us cleanse ourselves from that. And that's just my own belief, okay? But I really think I was fighting off not, I wouldn't say demonic, but I would say it was definitely low vibrational attachment. And it came in and it was like telling me, it was screaming at me the same thing. Gratitude doesn't matter. Gratitude's not you being grateful. Gratitude's not you being loved. Gratitude sucks and you suck. And just screaming at me all kinds of things. And I looked and I was like, and the dream was so weird, but I was eating in a house that was supposedly my grandma's house, and we were all at this dinner table, and she was telling me, and I kept telling everybody, I was like, oh, thank you, this is great food, like, this is really cool, like, thank you. And she started in on me like this, and I was like, hold up. And I looked at her and I said, do you realize that gratitude is one of the highest forms of love? And she started in on me, and the person that was not my grandma, but it was the person that was depicting my grandmother in the dream was like, enough, was telling her to stop. And I looked at my grandma in the dream and I said, may I please be excused? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here with this energy. And she's like, yeah, sure, go in the other dining room. And I ended up going into the formal dining room, which, mind you, my family is not like that at all. Like, this house was humongous, like a mansion. And this formal dining room had this table that was all wood, and it had pink chairs on it, and it was just so incredible. It was like, had this lace tablecloth on it and everything. And I sat in there and I ate by myself, and it was so weird how when I left, all of a sudden the whole table started laughing and talking, and no one was laughing and talking when I was there. And I realized it was so weird because I had this download while I was in there that it's not me. Like, what I'm hearing, they're like, what you're hearing is fake. It's false. It's all a facade. That you brought the truth. And I was like, huh, okay, cool. And I just went on and ate my dinner, and then I woke up like right after, and it was just so weird because I felt like I had released something. And so that's what it feels like this person or these people are trying to convince themselves that same thing, like gratitude is not really love, like gratitude must be your gimmick. And so it's like they're trying to practice gratitude, but they're trying to do it from a whoa, if they're gonna let me talk, excuse me, they're trying to do it from a very egotistical place. Like, they're not actually grateful for anything, right? They're just trying to see if saying thank you is enough, and it's not. It's about true gratitude. That's where grace comes in, right? Look, and know your worth. Yeah, exactly. They don't. This is the thing. They think that you're a happy person, but that you don't know your worth. And this is Source coming in like, yeah, that's what the joke's on them, because you do know your worth. Yeah. Truth transcends illusion with number 22 here. And your pile number 2. Woo, child. That's amazing. I love that. What a synchronicity. What an amazing synchronicity. Yeah, it's like they can think all they want that this is just a facade, but you're actually a walking embodiment of Source energy. And the more you connect with Source, the more people are magnetized to you, and the more that you gain connections with others in a very unique way. That is way too many, Source. Oh, it's because they want that one. I got you. Wasn't even in that pile. It was in the deck still. It's just so funny. And the thing is that sometimes people really think because they're coming from a very low vibrational place, or because they're coming from a very egotistical place, that they think everybody is like that. Okay, so yeah, we have Dreamtime Creation. They do see you as creating your life, the life that you want. You're dreaming things into existence, and they don't understand how you're doing it. What are they secretly thinking? You're a powerful person, that you're a powerful manifester, and that you, again, it's like this idea, you know how to play on people's emotions, and that's what's getting you farther. But the truth is you're actually really connected with your emotions. You're really connected with who you are, and that's why you're able to empathize with others. You may be a very acute empath here. And then we have Sonia. I'm bearing you a message from your deceased loved one. I am happy and at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So this could be a message from your grandma, because I was talking about that dream. It was my grandma, but she wasn't my grandma. Not the grandma that I knew in this lifetime. Okay, but I was calling her grandma, and I didn't recognize her, but I knew I needed to call her grandma. So this could be a message for you. Like, that dream could have been a message even for you. But this could be a message from your grandma saying, like, you're coming into a very powerful manifestation period. And to keep your vibration high, no matter how people are viewing you outside, it doesn't matter, because you're about to live a life that only some people could ever see in their dreams. Yeah. So let's take a look at your Shaman Oracle card. It was 23:23 on the clock when I was saying that. That's amazing. We have Eagle, yeah. Someone else is seeing this from an eagle's view. Like, they have it pinpointed. They're very clear on what's coming through. We have number 16 in numerology is 7. 7 is all about luck. If you change what it is that you're doing, and you've done that, you've done the work, you're focused on that. Okay, so let's see what Eagle says for you here. Number 17. No, I'm sorry, 16. 16. My bad. Okay. Eagle comes from the east, the place of the rising sun. And we got the sun in your reading. Oh my gosh, I love that. I love it. I love it. Okay, of new beginnings. She soars high in the sky. She sees the smallest detail with clarity without losing track of the bigger picture, and nests in the high mountains. For Eagle, there are no obstacles, only opportunities. She calls you to ascend, to acquire perspective, so you can fly wing to wing with great spirit. And that's what I was saying. Like, they feel like you've been given opportunities that they would never have, and they don't understand why. Like, it's like they're mad because they didn't get these opportunities, but they're also enamored by you at the same time, because it's like, holy crap, like, you did so much with what seemingly is so little, right? Like, they would never have been able to do the things that you've done. And so you're in the process of creating the life of your dreams. But I feel like you actually know who these people are. You're aware of their energy around you. You're very clear about that. And this is just that reminder to continue to keep your worth high vibrational. Know that you are enough, that you are deserving of what you're manifesting, and that they don't play a part in your dreams or what comes from your dreams here, okay? So this is what I see for you. If you feel like this is your reading, leave a little eagle emoji down below and say, I am soaring into my dreams as we speak. So you let Source know that you're coming into this higher vibrational energy. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there, though, and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this piece of agate, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be a reading on what do men secretly think of you and why. I did get a channel message before I started here that this is either someone that you've networked with or it is a family member. They were very, very clear about that. So just going into this to letting you know, I had a channel message before pile number 2 and I totally spaced it out, and I came out later and they're like, you should have said that. And I was like, I know, I totally forgot. I'm human. Thank you. They're like, it's cool. So I'm going to make sure I got that channel message out first, keeping in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it allows me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. And if you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary below in the description box, where you can email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. And you can also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. And I do hope to see you over there. As for memberships, they are in the making. I'm trying to get caught up from when I was 6, so I would like to encourage you to check out the community tab regularly, because once they go live, I will post it on there. You will be the first to know. The community tab is just a place where I put all updates to the channel, what's going on with myself, as well as positivity, inspiration, and thank yous for things going on, okay? Awesome. So I also want to point out that we are connecting with someone's point of view or perspective of you, and that in no way, shape, or form is the truth of your character. So I didn't say that on the other two piles, but I do feel like I need to say it here. Just putting that out there. Take it with a grain of salt. So let's go ahead and get into it and find out. What are men secretly thinking of you, pile 3? Source, what messages do you have for my pile number 3s? What are men secretly thinking of pile number 3? What would you like them to know? What are men secretly thinking of pile number 3? We've got 4th house indicating it is family. Okay. So I'm not surprised that 4th house would come out. I was wondering if it would, but not surprised. Not surprised here. So definitely someone that's family roots, like close to home, right? Definitely close to home here. They do think that you're someone that's very adventurous, that sometimes you tend to be lazy, though. That sometimes you're also rebellious against how society should be, right? Like they're rebelling against the societal norms, societal beliefs, and that's something that they don't necessarily like, because they've tried to convince you to do things the quote unquote right way. But what is the right way, right? So yeah, this could be your parents. This could be just family in general, roots close to home. It could even be family that you have like friends that you consider to be family, right? But it does feel like here they do think that you are someone who can be very hasty, someone who's overly energetic. You can be restless, lazy, but you are very intelligent. Sometimes you tend to be, again, this is how they see you, 3:33 on the clock, that you might be very greedy, that you could be disrespectful to them because you don't believe or look at the way that they live life as the right way. So they feel like you're being disrespectful right now. They do feel like you have a lot of luck and that you are very open-minded, but not about what it is that they have to say to you. They do feel like you are very optimistic, that you are very excessive and extra at times, though. And that there's a lot of things that are happening for you and they don't understand why. That you are maybe very much into astrology, or you really like things that are along the lines of astrology. That you are someone who's very open, like that hasn't changed. That you do change frequently. That you are connected to technology, or you have some sort of social media or media presence that you follow. That you do. That you're unpredictable, that you're a rebel. Okay, but also that it does feel like sudden progression is happening for you. When the sudden progression happens here, it's like this person still, it feels like one person. Okay, it really does, but it could be a group of people. But it's definitely some people that are close to you. And it feels like when you have this sudden progression, like even if you were to tell them about your success, like they still wouldn't be able to see it from where you're coming from, because they're so stubborn and they feel like it's their way or the highway. And so if you're not going to do it their way, then they're not ever going to be open-minded to how you're doing it, because the way you're doing it is just for fun and it's all fun and games to you. And yeah, this is not a very good energy already. Like, I'm just going to tell you, like, this is not a very good energy. Yeah, this person just wants you to follow what they have to say. So, Source, let's get some more on it. Source, what do men secretly think of pile number 3? All the piles have been pretty different, but all of them have been pretty heavy energies. Like, these have been pretty heavy energies. I feel like because maybe you guys as a collective on my channel are very much in your masculine energy and healing that and coming into that healed masculine energy sometimes offsets the toxic masculinity, right? And so there's a lot of feelings that come with that. Source, what do men secretly think of pile number 3? What would you like to say? Yeah, okay. What do men secretly think of pile number 3? Okay, thank you. What do men secretly think of pile number 3? What do men secretly think of pile number 3, Source? What do men secretly think of pile number 3? Okay, thank you. What do men secretly think of pile number 3? Yeah, they do not want me to know what they're thinking about you. Like, they're just being stubborn right now. Source, let's get it. What do men secretly think of pile number 3? Let's open it up. Let's crack this baby wide open. See what's going on. Oof, yeah. Yeah, they secretly think that you've taken an irresponsible decision and that you are being delusional about where you can get money from, that you're not clear and that you don't care. Look at all these reversals here. Like, absurd. Look, they're all reversed except for the 4 of coins here. Look, Source is showing you you're stable. This is Source coming in saying, don't worry. No matter how this person thinks of you, how do they think of you, you're stable. You're about to get some luck in your life. But this person doesn't see it like that. This person just thinks that, like, because you don't discuss things with them or they don't know exactly what is going on, like, they just think that you're just lying about it all. Right? They think that you've taken a hasty decision here, that you are full of delusions and lies, like you keep lying to yourself, that you don't care who you step on to get to where you're going, that you're conceited and that you've rocked the boat and you don't care that you rocked the boat. Because you're actually, in truth, feeling very stuck and spiritually defeated, but you don't want to tell anybody that. Wow, that's some really, really crazy energy. Oh, okay. This person has no clear boundaries of who you are in their life. They don't know. Whether that's because maybe before you were healing, you didn't have clear boundaries with this person, and they think that they can have access to everything that's going on in your life, like they deserve, or that they are entitled to knowing every step that you're making. But something changed here, and they think that you cut them out. With the Fool and the Magician here, they're feeling like you cut them out completely from everything that's going on with you, and you just are living your best life and you're not telling them, and you may be having success but you're not including them in on it. They feel like they deserve to be a part of it, whether they earned it or not. They don't even care. They just feel like they are entitled to having this presence in your life because of the title they hold. in your life, and you have had to let that go. You've had to trust this process, and I feel like Source has been giving you a download. I know we're trying to ask what they're thinking about you, but that's been clear. Like, they showed me on the bottom of the deck here what they're thinking of you. Like, that's a very clear message. But Source is coming in here saying to remember your boundaries with them, because really what's happening here is something new is about to take off for you. Okay? Something new is about to come through for you, and that you don't have to worry about this person anymore. They want you to focus solely on yourself and solely on where you're going with your journey, because this person is very heavy. This is a very heavy energy in your energy. It's very much like almost like you have to cleanse yourself just to be around this person. You have to cleanse yourself when you're gone from this person. And like, if you spend any amount of time with this person, you have to take days to recover from this person, because that's how heavy this energy is. And it's like Source is just telling you, like, use that as fuel to focus on your journey. Use that as fuel to do what you need to do with your life. Use that to get you to the next level. Okay, because this person they're just in a very low vibrational state right now. Okay, it does feel like one person. It could be a group, okay? We were talking about men, but they don't, like, whoever this is or whoever they are, like, they just don't see what you're doing, and they don't want to see it, because there's something else on the back burner here. Let me see if I can get some more on this. Source, can you please clarify this a little bit more? Give me a better understanding of what's going on here. Yeah, you're building something from the ground up. I feel like this person talks to other people about you, or they talk to other family members about you, and they say, like, whatever it is that they're going, they're saying whatever it is that they're going to say here. And if you become successful, then that makes them look like the bad person, and they're trying to look like the victim here. And the thing is that they don't want to be the bad person. They want their side to come true here. And they're really praying. Like, it's almost like this person goes to bed every night praying that you'll fail. Oh, this is an ugly energy. Yeah. They talk a lot. This person talks a lot. This energy is sideways. Okay, this is some sideways energy here. It's not very positive. I know we've got a lot of positive cards here, but it has to do with your success. This person is completely burdened by your success, because you're happy, you're intuitive, you're working hard on what it is that you have, you're a boss, you're finding fulfillment and luck on the journey, and this person just feels totally, like, not even left out. That's not what they feel. Like, this person just feels like they just missed the memo. Like, how do I become successful like you, Pile 3? How do I do what you're doing? Like, you seem to be like you've got it all together, but this person's very toxic by nature. They don't know they're toxic. They have no idea that they are. They have no idea that they've been leading you on. I feel like you figured it out early on. This person is so intimidated by your success. They're so intimidated by what it is that you're doing. And they feel like they've been completely cut out of the loop here. They are feeling like you did this to them on purpose. That's what they're thinking here. And it scares them that you're actually intuitive. It scares them that you might actually know what it is that they're doing to you. Like, that's scary to them. They don't want anybody to know what it is, like what it is that they're saying about you behind your back, or what it is that they're telling other people about you. They don't want anybody to know that, and they're scared that you might actually know. But at the same time, they're in that stubborn energy of like, nope, like no one can be like that. I've never met. This is like just because they've never met anybody like you in their life, that it's like they just assume that nobody like you exists. And so here you are, and they know you. They've known you your whole life, or you've known them their whole life. And you exist, but they don't want to see it as reality. They don't want to see that as the truth. And that's why they don't want to see it as the truth, is because, well, I've never met anybody like you before. And if somebody like you existed, then I should have met them. But you know, maybe you were the person that was sent to be in their life to help them overcome their own trials and tribulations with the connections that you have and with your abilities, you know, showing them that anything is possible. But they just don't believe that. They do not believe that anything is possible. They've never met you. They met someone like you. They've never seen anybody like you, but they're mad because this person is mad. Okay, this person is straight up angry. they're lost. They feel like they've been given the short end of the stick, because if you succeed, I guess I should say when you succeed, because at this point it doesn't even feel like an if, because Source is making it very clear here that you've got something coming. So when you succeed, because you never gave up on yourself, when you succeed, this person is like gonna fly off the wall. They're not going to be happy for you. Like, they're just not. It wouldn't surprise me if this person came to you asking for all kinds of ridiculous help. Like, I need this, or I need that, or you owe me this, or you owe me that, or like this. You know, one thing that I've learned on the way, my ear's going crazy right now, especially with people close to us, like when they come to you like that, especially if you've climbed the ladder of success and you made a name for yourself and you've done well, and they come around and they start treating you, you know, a certain way, or like you owe them for things. You know, one thing that you can always say is, how much is my, and then put over the label in there, how much is it worth for me to be your family? How much is it worth for me to be your lover? How much is it worth for me to be your friend? And then when they give you a number, you tell them, okay, fine. Then just remember this. You traded money for my, and then relationship. It's not that you have to pay them. It's just getting them to say it out loud so they can hear it. And it's not mean. That's not what it is. It's just you're putting it into perspective. You put a number on love. You put a number on our connection. You put a number on this relationship. The number was more important to you than ever having this connection with me. That should show you where they're at, even if you know where they're at. But hopefully the hope is that it puts it into perspective for them. It may and it may not, because nobody wants to feel like someone can buy out your relationship, someone can buy out your love, someone can do that. Nobody wants to feel that way, because that makes you feel used. It makes you feel abused and useless and worthless. Like, I'm not worth anything except for the band in my pocket. Nobody wants to feel that way. But it's highlighting that sometimes that's the only way to trigger that healing from it. But that's what this feels like. That's really what this feels like. This wanted to come out in the reverse. Stillness. Yeah, this person is in a chaotic state right now. This could be someone who never has time to themselves. This could be someone who's always trying to fill the void. I've got to do something at every point of the day. Like, even when they sit down, they're still doing stuff. You know, like people who are always on their phone, or always on the internet, or always on, you know, they're not doing anything, but they're doing something. Do you know what I mean? Like, what are those people who have a billion contacts and they're trying to talk to every one of their contacts because they don't want to spend time with you. They would rather spend time with these people who make them feel better about themselves than spending time in stillness and silence with you, because that triggers them into feeling all kinds of ways about it. This person is angry though. Yeah. And see, that's the thing with Vision Quest on the bottom here, desert. This card talks about taking a journal out to the desert or out somewhere and putting everything down, not taking your phone, not taking anything, and just going and sitting with Source and asking your question and then journaling about what insights you get. So again, this idea of you having stillness, you're this still effect, right? You have this stillness, but to be in the stillness is scary, because being in the stillness means that we have to deal with our internal turmoil. And so it's like every time this person's around you, that internal turmoil is almost like deafening. It's so loud. So it's almost like they don't know what to think of you. They just know how they feel about you more than anything else. It's like, and the main thing that's coming through is anger. Anger at the opportunities you've had, anger at what you're being presented, anger at this, anger at that. It's like they don't even love you because they have no space in their heart for love, because they don't love themselves. They just think that they're so low at the bottom of the totem pole that it's my duty to take this out on the people who are closest to me, because you have a strong will. You're willing to take the next leap. You're willing to go through it. You're willing to do what you need to do. You aren't afraid to do the hard things, but they are. This person is so scared, or this group of people, they're so scared to do the hard things. And it may be like, maybe you've told them how to heal. Maybe you've told them, oh, it's simple. You just got to do this. And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's a load of crock, you know? So we have water here. This could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have yin, which is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, as well as Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So this could be an earth or a water sign. You could be an earth or a water sign. We have spirituality, emotion, intuition, and compassion. Intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, and receptivity. Again, this confirmation that they've never met anybody like you. So how could you exist? I've never met anybody like pile 3, so how do they exist? Even though they see it with their own eyes, like you could do things that happen, like all these synchronicities come to you all the time. It's happening right in front of them, but they still refuse to believe it. It's because they don't want to see you for who you are, because this person loves being in the mindset of a victim. Look, we have the South Node, destined to release. This is what Source is saying here. They're not meant to be on the path with you. Okay, you're in this place of spiritual growth. We have Sagittarius energy like crazy here. House 9, Sagittarius, optimism, exploration, and freedom. You have outgrown your stay. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have outgrown your welcome a long time ago. In fact, you outgrew your welcome whenever it was that you and this person came into contact with each other. Because this person has just always been triggered by you. But before you were healed, this person actually could control you. Excuse me, this person actually had a say in your life, and now they don't, and now it's just triggering them even more. So we have Dolphin on the bottom. This and that are true. This card makes me laugh because it's just saying it's like both perspectives are very true, right? Like you're a very loving, kind, generous individual, and that's a very true energy to be in, and this person's a very hateful, low vibrational, angry, suffering, victim person. And that's very true. Both realities are very true because what you think you are is who you are. Right? So you can choose to change your mindset at any point. And that's why people are like, oh, that doesn't work. It's because they don't want to choose to change the way they believe. Because it's shaking the whole foundation of who they grew up to be or who they lived their whole lives being. It shakes that entire foundation, and once that crumples, as you know it, if you've had a spiritual awakening as well, you know that's the death of the ego, and death of the ego is not fun. It makes you feel crazy. You cry like crazy. It feels like experiencing a death in the family. You're experiencing a death within yourself. It's like losing a part of yourself so that you can gain a part of yourself. It's not fun. And most people know that discomfort, and that discomfort is so strong that they'd rather stay comfortable in a very uncomfortable place than to experience the discomfort of change. So we have Adriana here. I am leading you towards the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps. I am communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. Yeah, so you've been getting some signs and messages about the situation. And they're saying to listen to that. Follow your heart. Let's see what these are. Look, you're learning something new here. We have Sacred Ibis with number 22. 22 is a master number. 2 is all about trusting in the process, right? And so you have Sacred Ibis with learning. You're learning something new. And I feel like this person or these people are teaching you something very valuable about yourself, that you deserve to be who you are, regardless of how somebody sees you or not. We have 1 with Ant Spirit, time to collaborate. And this feels like it's time for you to find like-minded people. These are not like-minded individuals. Whoever this is resonating with, this is not like-minded. We have Archangel Raphael. I am helping you to heal physical challenges in yourself and others. You are a healer like me. And this explains so much as to why this person is consistently triggered. Look, I didn't even know that I put 1 on top of the Magician here. Like you have 1 and 1. So 11 being a very spiritual number. You're guided by the divine. 1122 is a very powerful number for you as well. Yeah, so you're definitely a healer. That's why this person gets triggered all the time. It's just, it's difficult sometimes when you're triggering people who refuse to help themselves. You can only help those that want to be helped, right? And it's like past that, you're just going to trigger people who don't want to be helped and they feel like it's always your fault. but they can never look within. These are people who don't want to take accountability for themselves. They don't want to take accountability for their journey. They don't want to take accountability for even where they're at, or to even say that maybe I have failed, but you know what? There's only one place to go, and that's up, right? I've gotten all the way to the bottom, so let me climb up. But so much of the time, they'd rather blame everybody else. They'd rather put it on everybody else. It's everybody else's fault, because that makes them feel better. It's devoiding themselves the opportunity to grow. That's where that's coming from. So let's take a look at your shaman card here. Look, we have the mystical shaman. You don't get more healing than a shaman. I mean, for real. We have number 38 coming out here. 38 being 11 in numerology. That's amazing. So 1111, 1122. Definitely check those numbers out. That might deepen the meaning of this reading for you. So let's see what this card says here. I'll read this to you. It says, this is the symbol of the myth maker and the storyteller who is neither made of nor defined by the story. Instead, he observes it, evolves through it, perceives all aspects of it. In so doing, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth, into being. He dances in between worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, sings the world into being, reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. Yeah, this makes so much sense. This is the symbol of true alchemy. For all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. When we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. So you've come into this understanding of being able to slip. It's like slips. Why do I hear that song right? Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. But like you're slipstreaming, like you're in and out between the physical and the material realm, or in the spiritual realm, like it's a slipstream for you. It's not something that you have to actually work hard for, because you've lived it and you're becoming it. And for people who are in this energy, they have to actually try really hard to even get a tiny dust speck to where you're at. And that's what's so scary, because they know that they're not on the level of as you, and so instead of changing their life, they'd rather stay in that material place, because that's what they've known. I can touch it, taste it, see it, feel it, hear it. That's real. But if I can't do those things, then it's not real. And if it's not real, then you must be crazy, right? But we're coming into a very enlightened time in the world. We're talking about this 5D consciousness coming through, and the 5D consciousness is a very spiritual consciousness where so many people are being brought woke, right? And I hate using this term, but it's all I have right now, so as we go through it, but they're very much in this enlightened space. And it's like, even though they're being raised by parents who haven't got a clue, they still have a much wider vision of the world around them, because it's with purpose. Because Source is saying time has changed, and now it's time for us to go from being in this low 3D vibration of being so connected to what we can only physically see and hear, to coming into this very spiritual time that's driven by unconditional love. So it's a very powerful thing, and you are one of the leaders in that. So regardless of what these people are thinking, or what these men are thinking, or who this person is thinking about, what this person's thinking about, Source is really clear about your journey here. It's like wanting you to focus more on the journey rather than focusing on the fact that there's somebody in your energy who doesn't actually want to cheer you on. But there are a lot of people who are rooting for you, and there are a lot of spiritual beings who are trying to carry you through this, for sure, okay? So if you feel like this is resonating with you, leave the little flamingo. I think there's a flamingo emoji. Leave a little flamingo emoji down below and say, I am learning to be my spiritual guru self. So you let Source know you're coming into this higher vibrational energy. Give me a thumbs up, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my spirit guides for coming together to give us this incredible message, because it's truly what it was. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.